Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about Dee Dee Blanchard's autopsy report. I'm not going to be reading it beginning to end, but I would like to encapsulate kind of what y'all need to know about this autopsy report from somebody that is not a doctor, not a medical examiner, not anybody in that field. But there were a few takeaways, very generalized, that I will share, and then I will also put the text in the description box in case y'all want to read it, or I might just do like a community page update, one or the other. I'll figure it out. This goes back to why Gypsy Rose Blanchard should not be standing on the platform that she is standing on. What she did was diabolical, it was disturbing, and on top of it all, she literally used Nicholas Godejohn to carry out this act because she wanted to do what she wanted to do, and that is a pattern that has followed her since her prison release. But nevertheless, we're going to go over a few things in this video, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so please keep in mind that, again, like I said in the intro, I am not a doctor, I'm not a medical examiner, I'm not a forensic pathologist, none of the above. I'm just somebody who sees that there is a very large issue with giving Gypsy Rose Blanchard any level of fame, attention, or money since her prison release. This woman carried this out with the assistance of Nicholas Godejohn. And if it wasn't her idea, it would have never happened. How dare anybody sit there and give her a round of applause? She is somebody who deserves none of it. Period. Please keep in mind that Dee Dee was also left in a house where the air conditioning was turned way down as an effort to preserve her remains. And there were things like baby powder and dryer sheets in the area that she was found. Somebody who was being abused and never went to school and didn't know anything outside of a second grade education or whatever. I don't understand how that can be an excuse when they were smart enough to do things like turning down the air conditioning and placing dryer sheets and a fragrant powder in the room of their mother, whom they just unalived. This report was composed by Jeff Harkey, MD, in September of 2016. He said, "It is my opinion that Claudine Blanchard, a 48-year-old white female, died of injuries of the neck, back, chest, and abdomen due to multiple 17 stab wounds and multiple incised wounds. Her manner of death is ruled a homicide." So all of y'all that are platforming Gypsy Rose, you are literally platforming somebody that carried out homicide. And I said in a recent video, if you're gonna give that energy to Gypsy Rose, then you have to also be able to applaud and congratulate people like Charles Manson. If you say that they're not the same, I strongly disagree. In my opinion, based on the medical history that is listed in this autopsy report, this is not somebody that was in the physical condition to be actively abusing Gypsy Rose. This is not somebody that was in the condition to be super, out of control and inflicting hurt and all of these things. I will put that on the screen, but the medical history showed to me that this is somebody who was diagnosed with endometrial cancer and was unalived because her daughter wanted to do what her daughter wanted to do. And she was going to stop at nothing to make sure she could do what she wanted to do. Now it goes over all of the different wounds that were found on Dee Dee, from the top of the left shoulder, center of the upper back, left side of the upper back, center of the upper back, center of the upper back, again, center of the upper back, center of the middle back, right side of the upper back, right side of upper back, on and on and on, right side of upper back. Then it goes into her chest, and it explains these wounds in very precise detail, obviously, because this is an autopsy report and that is required for this report. Now, despite the fact that Gypsy said that there were sleeping pills that Dee Dee was taking, toxicology analysis came back to show that there was nothing in her system. Now, obviously I'm not a pharmacist or anything, but that could be because if the medication was something that was not going to stay in her system that long, then maybe that's why by the time the tox was done, it didn't show up. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak too heavily on that. But you can see in the text message that Gypsy sent to Nick, she mentions a sleeping medication that was not found during the autopsy findings. Again, I could really pick this whole report apart and give opinions that I'm not really educated to give. I don't want to do that. What I would like to do is just remind everybody that Dee Dee Blanchard was a flawed individual. We are all flawed in some way, shape, or form. But in my opinion, do I think that at the time of her unaliving, she was somebody that was actively abusing her child? I do not. I think she had a child that was out of control, a child that was addicted to social media, and a child that was going to do anything to get her out of the way. Gypsy has a history of getting people out of the way once they are an inconvenience to her. And that is why I find it so deeply disturbing that she is being propped up on social media as if she is some kind of survivor and she's here to start a new chapter. She has shown these disturbing patterns from 10 years ago. And we can see that through everything that has been shared, reported on, and discussed. We've seen the crime scene images. We've seen all of the absolute terror that was unleashed on Dee Dee. And now we see the autopsy report. And I think that if you're well aware of both of those and you're still willing to say, oh, well, Gypsy should still be, put up on social media, then I think that you should seek help. And that is my unsolicited opinion. But I think that's enough for today. I know a few of y'all were asking, what about the autopsy? What do you think about that? These are my very surface level opinions. And yeah, of course, as always, the comment section will be open. But for now, if you like the video, please have a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.